I don't have an important job. I do TV and radio for a living, so it's not important. Your job's more important than what I do. But you know one of the most important things when you do TV and radio? Showing up. They've told me, my employers tell me right here at the first, they tell me all the time, Jesse, it's important for you to show up and actually do the show. So if it's important for me to show up and do a television show for you every single Monday through Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, think how important it is for the President of the United States to, be there, be available, be leading, be answering questions as the supposed servant of the people he is. But Joe Biden is gone. He's MIA. He's had 2 total events, a lunch and a dinner. He's nowhere to be found. No one can ask him questions. No one knows what he's doing. Even the New York Times, of all places, the absolute communist rag, New York Times, the New York Times is asking, where's the president?
By the time the president appears at a dinner tonight, it will have been about 48 hours since he's had a public appearance. So what has he been doing in that time?
He's been meeting with, having internal meetings in the Oval Office.
And that brings us to the why and the where. Why is Joe Biden gone? Where's Joe Biden been? Joe Biden's gone because Hunter Biden is in very serious legal trouble. And now we know from this whistleblower, or I should say we think we know from this whistleblower, that there is hard evidence out there that Joe Biden is a criminal, just like Hunter Biden. And the Biden administration, they have an SOP, if you will, standard operating procedure for you non-military types. Do you remember Afghanistan? Do you remember when we yanked out of Afghanistan and then Afghanistan began to collapse almost right away? And this is a part of it that most people don't remember. They remember the explosions and the drones and the tragedy and everything else, but they forget this part. As the country was collapsing, and it was this international scandal, and we looked horrible. We looked horrible because the Taliban were just storming through the place and taking it over. Do you remember that Antony Blinken, Jen Psaki, she was the press secretary then, and Joe Biden, all 3 of them went on vacation? You remember that? They had to be shamed to come back from vacation to speak about the international scandal they just caused. The Biden administration, when they smell trouble in the air, they go to ground. They hide. Joe Biden thinks he's in trouble. He thinks he's in bad trouble. And I've been telling you that Joe Biden is in trouble. I've been telling you over and over and over again, this. What you're going to see is leverage. It's what you're about to see. Joe Biden is about to be pushed out of the White House. He announced his intention to run again in order to get something out of the deal. The system is going to come to Joe Biden and they're going to tap him on the shoulder and they're going to say, Joe, we need you to go. Can't run. And Joe's going to say, well, I already announced I'm going to run. And the system's going to say, Joe, this Hunter Biden stuff, it all leads back to you. So they're going to tell Joe, you want this Hunter Biden stuff to go away. We'll give him a slap on the wrist, brush it aside. If you step aside, Joe Biden's going to do it. Now, do you know how many people it takes to run for president, to have on your staff, if you will, various managers and things like that? It's more people than you can possibly imagine. Possibly imagine. Joe Biden announced he's running for re-election. Re-election isn't that far away. Gosh, the clock is ticking. You know how many campaign staffers are on Joe Biden's staff for the re-election he's running? 2. Oh, I'm going to be obnoxious if I turn out to be right about that. You know who's not obnoxious? Joining me now, Lauren Boebert, great Congresswoman from the state of Colorado, also reigning champion, hottest women of Congress. But we're setting all that aside for today because we have a couple important things to discuss. 1 is Joe Biden. 2 is U2. Lauren, I was thinking about the band U2 this morning. They have one good song. I don't understand all the hype for this band at all. I've never understood it.
So I don't know if I know what the good song is, Jesse.
I was thinking about this too. I haven't found what I'm looking for thing, but I'm not going to sing it for you here because we're on national television and that would be embarrassing. Let's move on to something somehow worse than U2, bribery. It's not exactly news that Joe Biden is crooked as the day is long. Everyone knows it. We might have a document proving it now. Do I have that right?
I think so. So Chairman Jamie Comer actually came out saying that there looks like there's credible evidence of bribery. And, Merrick Garland, Joe Biden's wingman, had the audacity to lie to the American people in front of Congress and then yet lie again in front of Congress, saying that he stands by his testimony that there would be no political interference in the Hunter Biden case. Now, Jesse, let's have a little criminal justice history here. The punishment for lying to Congress is perjury. I'm glad that we have restored strong leadership back in the House of Representatives because the American people deserve to know if President Biden sold out the United States of America to make money for himself and his crackhead, gun criminal, prostitute-loving, stripper-loving son. But we need to make sure that we have all of our documents here, that we are bringing him in. And that right there is criminal by itself. It's treason. We need to and must get to the bottom of this and hold these guys accountable. What we don't know as of this moment, though, is if the FBI has done anything to verify or investigate these credible claims. Right now, it looks like they turn their heads and look the other way, as they typically do. But let's be honest with ourselves. The FBI, their current history of botching politically charged investigations goes to show how important it is for congressional oversight in this moment. These folks cannot be trusted. The FBI Director Wray, Attorney General Garland, and Secretary Blinken, they better be prepared. They better clear their calendars because I, and alongside Chairman Comer, we'll find out the truth for the American people. And as I mentioned, Chairman Comer issued a subpoena to the FBI Director Wray. And let me just reiterate, we will get to the bottom of this, and it's only a matter of time.
I love it. I love it. All right, Congresswoman, how do we handle impeachments? Because obviously every Tom, Dick, and Harry, myself included, I want to impeach all of them, right? Mayorkas and Garland and Joe Biden, just impeach everyone because they're all a bunch of crooks, and they are a bunch of crooks, and they all do deserve impeachment, but that's not realistic. I want to live in the real world. What will we see? What might we see, I guess I should say, as far as people who are going to be impeached?
Right. Well, as far as impeachment goes, there's some articles of impeachment that would never even make it out of the Republican majority-led Judiciary Committee, which is very unfortunate. So we have to be able to have these hearings and investigations to bring truth to the American people. There are so many people who want to get rid of the truth and abolish the truth, and we have to expose all of their lies. So that is involved in these investigations and hearings. And then unfortunately, it may just be up to the American people to impeach these folks through a new administration in 2024. But we are going to lay all the facts out there so people can be informed when they do go to vote. I hope that we do see articles of impeachment. I've introduced them for Joe Biden, for Secretary Mayorkas. There's been articles of impeachment introduced for Blinken and so much more. But we actually have to get them out of the Judiciary Committee for those to go anywhere. I would love to at least have the hearings in the committee to form that basis of why this is reasonable and acceptable and show the demand of the American people. Because, Jesse, it's everywhere that I go. People are saying, why are they still in office? Why do we have these cabinet members who are clearly so corrupt? And it's extremely frustrating for me when we have folks who have lied, like Antony Blinken, to Congress. And now they're part of the administration, and they're continuing to cover up what had happened with the Biden crime family rather than doing their job for the American people. I mean, Jesse, you know it. The FBI, there's so much corruption there. There's corruption in the Department of Injustice at this time, and just about every other cabinet that we could name. And it's up to us to just reveal everything that's going on, and hopefully the voters make an informed decision when it comes time to do that so we can get a change of leadership.
Do you enjoy watching that? Would you like some more of me? Good. Go subscribe to my YouTube channel. You will enjoy it.